So welcome to the Bluebell in Warrington for the 2025 Grand Final! Yes, another incredible season. But I'm going to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, that man there at the back who looks like Joey Boswell, him, that's Mike. Mike, myself and Greg, 4 years ago, that was all that was at the Grand Final. No, that was the year after. Year after, we got Stef. So we got Stef the year after. Last year we got 17 people in the Piccadilly Tap, and this year we've got 50 people in the Bluebell. That is outstanding. That is absolutely outstanding. Greg, what a journey, mate.
Absolutely fantastic. And these people are absolutely wonderful. It just reinforces that rugby league is the greatest sport on the planet.
And without you guys, as Dave says, each and every week, it just wouldn't be possible. But today, it's going to be a great game. Let's remember, even though we are from as representative clubs, you know, we all love each other. We're all one big family. And this is Super League Raw. Up the Robins.
Good times have never seemed so good.
We see today as a testament to all the work you put in, all these people that have come out today. It's a huge effort. And we see the work you put in. So it's fantastic. Has anyone got a ring show today? Don't worry, you can get to the stand this week. You can sit next to opposition participants. That's good news.
So Joel, mate, you know, your public love you, mate. They love you, mate. They love you, mate. They love you. So there you go. So Mr. Scholes, they're waiting for your final thoughts, mate. So give them your final thoughts. We'll go with this. Record Grand Final appearances. James Roby is one. Who's the other? Bono.
Yeah, so that's where.
Who's Bono? Who's Bono? Who's you too, mate? Talking rugby league here, mate. Who's Bono? Burrow!
Yeah.
Yes.
I told you something else.
Hey, we're going to be so close to the edge. There you go. Opposing his iron rainbow. There you go. Anyway, the sweetest thing is. It's actually Jamie Peacock.
Right, what's number one? What's number one? Are you listening? Give us a thumbs up. There you go. Right, we have got. Right.
Cheer up, the sun is red lit.
I'll tell you what, you know Elvis Presley had on and there for funny. How's what's number one doing, mate? It's the atmosphere building. No, you've not. We've got the luckiest ball. Come on!
Why make me work so hard? Let's get it on, let's get it on, let's get it on, let's
You enjoyed Bus 1. We're loving Bus 2. We'll see you very shortly from Old Trafford. Everybody on Bus 1, enjoy your trip down to Old Trafford, Steph. Legend. Well done. So here we are with the boys. Good evening, fellas. Pete Barley. Pete, your Hull KR have just won the Super League 2025. What's your immediate reaction?
Still shocked, I can't believe it.
Shocked, can't believe it. No, you're loving life.
Loving it.
Loving life. Treble.
The treble.
See,
Can we do the quadruple? That is the question. That is the question.
Right,
Can
what
we?
a night for you, though.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm buzzing.
Fantastic.
Can't believe it.
The legend, the experience. Bazza's coming in. Bazza, just explain your emotions, mate, live on YouTube, mate.
It's not something, if I'm honest. It's a whirlwind. Yeah, 9 years ago, dark day. We've done 3 trophies and I took one. I'd have snapped your hand off for one, but I don't know if I'll get to experience this again, but I'll enjoy it while I can. It's incredible. And this guy, what he's done, yeah.
Well, the rumours are that Baz is putting his credit card behind the bar and he's buying me a single malt back at the Bluebell. Is that true?
He can have a double.
Here's the lovely Dawn. Dawn, there she is. Dawn.
Everyone!
Imagine, explain to the YouTube community how you're feeling, mate.
Oh, off the moon. I'm just
Awesome.
ecstatic. I mean, I can't believe it. I've waited all my life for this, and I just can't believe it.
She's waited all her life for this. And in a moment, you're going to see your beloved Robins pick up the Super League trophy.
I can't believe it.
This eclipses the Challenge Cup.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Can't believe it. And you're going to be,
It's magic.
and she's coming back to the Bluebell for more drinks and fun. Look at it. She's absolutely over the moon. Well done, Dawn. So here we are at the Bluebell, the after party of Super League Raw. The Robins are the 2025 Grand Final winners. And here we are, it's in the house. There we are. Go on, mate, give it a smile. There you go. A happy Robins fan. Come on, Sally. Sally Ann, happy Robins fan. Yeah, there you go. Buzzer, you're live on YouTube, Chief. Give it a big one. We've done it. There you go. He's an happy boy. This is what Super League Raw is all about, ladies and gentlemen. After party at the Bluebell, Grand Final style. Gregory Rosen. There he is. There you go.
Right, Dave. What a good day. A fantastic day. It wasn't the result we wanted.
That was an incredible day.
It wasn't the result we wanted.
There you go. There's Gregory.
Hey, the BFG.
Yeah. The BFG. Hey, Huddersfield Giants, mate. How's your Grand Final been, mate?
Absolutely wonderful. Love the game. All the result was there, really, at the end of the day. The Bevan Franks, line on try. The yellow card made difference. Game okay, all couple of tries. But a great game. Wonderful, great people, great community. Doing Super League Raw, that's a great thing.
In the house, there he is. That's the lad. What do you think of the Super League Raw after party, mate?
Oh, it's great, mate. That was banging it.
Banging! Mark Hill in the house as well, there he is. Okay. Mark, are you enjoying yourself, son?
Loving it.
Loving it. Yes, you can choose to do a Grand Final on your own. You can choose to, just watch your own team, or you can choose to be a part of the Super League Raw community. Last year it was 17, this year it's 50, next year it'll be 100. You know it makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Bluebell, from the Super League Raw Grand Final, all the very best to you all. Do become a member, do the QR code, be with us next year. Trust me, it was an incredible day. It's been outstanding. Thank you to everybody who's come along. Thank you to everybody who's watched. If you're not a member of Super League Raw, why aren't you? The only way to do a Grand Final, regardless of the team you support, is Super League Raw. So, good morning. On a morning that's supposed to have razzmatazz, excitement, jeopardy, all that wonderful stuff. And yes, yet again, the rugby league media put cold water on it all. We have got the race to the bottom happening on social media, announcing the result already. But this is how it should have been done. This is what should have happened. It should have been, who is it going to be? We are going to do this show as it should have been. If you haven't looked at social media, don't do it. Just stay here, because we will wait for the official announcement at 10 o'clock, because embargoes mean something to Super League Raw. Steph, you're filthy as me, mate. This should not be in the public domain already.
I don't know the result.
Good man. I won't tell you. No, you are right. You're filthy.
Yeah, no, I am. It's I remember, we talked about it this morning, when the same system was put in when Toronto dropped out of the league, and there was the applications the first time we did this with Lord Caine. And I remember sitting on my couch that morning as a Leaf fan. The whole world was predicting Bradford were going to get in, and everything was corrupt and stuff. And then the announcement came live on Sky Sports News from Lord Caine that Leah got in, and I celebrated that like Leah had won the grand final. It was an amazing feeling, and I feel like we've been robbed of that a little bit now. And that's. I mean, it's going to be great for the teams that have got in, and they're still going to celebrate it. Like, it was great seeing the scenes at Bradford last night. I know they had a celebration party, and fair play to them for that. But yeah, I've got Sky Sports News on, just on the off chance that they do decide to
actually do something.
Yeah, but I don't think they will. But
do you know what? I'm getting all this ready, this ready. And again, this is what, look at the effort in a minute. We've done a few bits for you, to try and build up to the announcement in 10 minutes, as you do. But you know what? That's a really good point. Let me just quickly get Sky Sports News recording. Modern technology. It's a wonderful thing.
How bonkers is it that as rugby fans, one of the biggest announcements that's been made in recent history in Super League, going to 14 teams, two or three new clubs coming in, and we don't even know officially where to look. Or if they have put it out, as people who follow the game so closely, we don't know. How's anybody else expected to know? Is it on the website? Is it on Sky Sports News? Is it on Facebook? Is it through journalists? How are we going to know?
Well, I mean, I've got the rugbyleague.com website up here behind the screen and waiting for it. And when the official announcement comes, we will cover it as it comes in. And to be fair, I had a couple of emails after the show, be invited to certain clubs today, which sort of gave me an inkling on who it was going to be. Again, embargoed. Didn't get anything from me. And I've still not said. I'm still sat here now, pretty much knowing I'm not saying anything. Because that's the whole point of an embargo. And, they've got people in the chat. Good evening, good morning to Peter Barley. Good evening to Craig. Good evening to Greg. And actually, some of the aforementioned people, to my knowledge, in the chat haven't announced it yet, unless it's happened since I've been putting the show together. So actually, this isn't all media. Some media are absolutely doing what should have been done, which is, no, you wait till 10 o'clock. And a missed opportunity. I said this yesterday. I'll say it again now, exactly what you said. We've just been saying before we came on, what should be happening right now is that when Sky Sports News hits at 10 o'clock, there is a press conference with the chairman, the coaches, maybe a couple of players from each team, and it is announced. And they actually speak to the camera about their excitement or their disappointment and what they're going to do, the losing team, what they're going to do to make sure they're ready for next season. A real celebration, get eyes on the sport. But no, some people want their clickbait. Some people want their views more than what's best for rugby league. And I just don't get it. I don't get it. And, it's time for the Rugby Football League to wake up, for Super League to wake up and to hold the press to higher standards. These type of things. I mean, look, rumours of signings and stuff, agents get involved in that and all that. You're never going to stop that. But something like this that could have been kept under lock and key, you've got to ask. Simply embargoes mean nothing. Embargoes mean nothing in rugby, and I appreciate why they do it. They do it because not everybody does what we're going to do now, which is a live show, and we're going to do it. Some have got to do the website. Some have got to get it ready to go and get all the social media set up so at 10 o'clock, bang, it hits. Absolutely. Got no issue with that. That's exactly right. And as long as that hits, and, some people go, like I said last night, 30 seconds from 10 o'clock to be the first. And I get that. But I'm not going to split hairs over that. But, that's why they do it. And I understand that's why they do it. But anybody who's seen foul of doing that, I'm sorry, but suspend them for 6 months.
Yeah, and if I'm using the Lee example because that was the last thing.
You like the cup? I'm digging Disney this morning. Go on. Actually, it is Disney, isn't it? Hey, what a great advertisement for what's going on this morning. A bit of Disney.
Yeah, but if you cast your mind back to that day when Lee did get promoted through this system, they had live cameras at the Lee Sports Village, and we got to see the raw emotion of Derek doing a roly-poly on camera in front of the TV they were all watching and the cheering. We've been robbed of that again. They should have had cameras at York, at Toulouse, at London, just to get that raw emotion, because this means a lot to these teams. It's for York, for London, for Toulouse to get into, well, specifically for York, who've never been in.
Yeah.
You can imagine their reaction to find out if they do get in.
Yeah.
Live on air would have been fantastic TV. That passion, the effort, the drama, and most importantly, only 20% of this IMG stuff is on-field performance. 80% of it is off the field. And it's to give credit to those clubs and chairmen and boards and volunteers who've worked tirelessly at these clubs to get them to where they are. The credit's on them, and it would have been nice to see their raw emotion and allow them to celebrate or be upset, on TV, because that's what sport is. It's drama, and I think we've just been robbed of that today. But we will still have excitement for those teams, and we will be able to talk about them and celebrate in 7 minutes' time if we find out through whatever channel.
I've got plenty of cups, Pete, but thanks very much, mate. I'll get a new one. Maybe I'll get a Super League Raw one. I'll get a Super League Raw one for next season. Maybe that'll be an idea, wouldn't it?
Some new merch. Should we drop some new merch?
Some new merch, maybe cups for next year. Anyway, let's do this as it should have been. Today's contenders, ladies and gentlemen. Today's contenders. Let's do it as it should have been done. And these are they. We're expecting the contenders to be the London Broncos, York Knights, and Toulouse Olympic. They are the contenders. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. We're all comfortable that that is the three. Everybody else has backed away, or of whatever reasons, it pretty much appears that it's not going to be them. So let's take a look at these three clubs in a little bit more detail. First and foremost, let's go to the IMG. Let's go to that. So club gradings. And as you can see, Toulouse year on year have increased their points, as to have York. London slightly down, of course, finished lower down the championship than those this season. So on that basis, in terms of the orders around the IMG, Toulouse and York progressing, Steph, in 2025, that should have a bearing. And we also know that they're well backed.
Yes, absolutely. Like I was just saying about the backroom stuff that they've done, the stadium is also well up to Super League standard. They've done everything right, and I think everybody. I've not had anybody say they don't want York in. I think they're the most favoured team to come up out of Bradford, York, Toulouse, London, Oldham. I've literally not heard anybody say they don't want York in. I think everybody thinks it'd be a good thing. Also for the catchment area there, they've got a massive area where there's no rugby league team. So great city, great population. It ticks every single box, doesn't it, York, for a rugby league side that's going to be successful.
Absolutely. I'm just going to put this on the screen. No, you're right. Absolutely. I think for me, 1 second. I have to put this on the screen just because we might have some late people coming in. They might be thinking, what are these idiots doing? So Super League Raw doing the announcement, says it should be done, respecting the game of rugby league and embargoes and things like that. Steph's keeping his eye on Sky Sports News. I've got the rugby league here. We're waiting for the official announcement. Come on, let's have some excitement around rugby league. That's what we want. Anyway, let's get into the teams. First of all, Toulouse, let's look at Toulouse. So Toulouse Olympic, founded in 1937, established club, been over there in France. Again, us people over here, we don't really realise the history of Toulouse Olympic. Championship Shield winners in 2017, second division champions 2021. Of course, relegated the next season from Super League, but they gave Warrington a big scare. Let's not forget that. They gave Warrington a massive scare under, it was Dow Powell, dear me. And of course, they won the grand final this year against
York. Massive congratulations to them. Let's go now to the London Broncos. London Broncos, formed in 1980 as Fulham Rugby League Football Club. They won the Second Division Championship in 1982 and 83. They were a part of the inaugural Super League competition in 1996. Challenge Cup runners-up in 1999. Remember that against the Leeds Rhinos, folks? That was there back then. Championship Grand Final winners 2018. Championship League leaders 2023. Championship Grand Final winners 2023, played 21 seasons in Super League. Let's just let that sink in. London Broncos. Now, we've just looked at the IMG gradings, but actually the one with the biggest pedigree, the one that's been in there the most, probably because of where it's situated, and of course this drive to get capital representation in Super League, have been the London Broncos, Steph.
Yeah. They've been in, they played probably a lot more Super League games than Lee. So it's they are an established Super League side. They've got the pedigree. They've got the stadium now as well, which is great. They've got a home there at Wimbledon, and also recently, I think everyone's got a bit of a soft spot for how London were treated the last time they were promoted, and knowing they were relegated before even a ball was kicked was ridiculous. So there'll be a lot of people rooting for London today. Just because of that, and more so for Mike Eccles as well, who I think everyone's got a lot of time for with what he did with that squad. Really proved himself that season as a top coach. But yeah, if London were to come up, and obviously with the signings of Darren Lockyer's brought in terms of Demetriou, signing NRL talent, they've got the most important thing now, which is financial ability and credibility in the NRL to sign some fantastic players.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, word coming out of London that they're comfortable if they weren't to get in. They'll build next year, and I think that's the same for York, and I think that's the same for Toulouse. I think all three of these. There's no doubt. We said last night that the piranhas are in the ocean and they're ready to take the dinner of other teams in Super League like Huddersfield, Castle. They really need to get a wriggle on because these teams are coming. So whoever doesn't get in today, they will be back with vengeance in 2026, ready for 2027. I'm even on good authority, Steph. And again, you couldn't Adam and Eve this. Craig Full, our biggest partner, Sky Sports, on an momentous day for rugby league, such as the partnership between the two brands. We've got a Sky Sports News, Liverpool versus Man United fan club special planned at 10 o'clock on Sky Sports News. Yep, just going to put that out there. So this is how it should be done. So, I mean, obviously, not really. We'd have expected it to be full fanfare, full press conference. Come on, a bit of razzmatazz. No, we'll just let it go under the carpet. Just let it go under the carpet. Don't worry about it. Nothing's happening in rugby league today, folks. Nothing's happening today in rugby league. And I'm sorry, but, people might say, if anybody wants to say I'm out of order, I'm not. Take a long, hard look at yourselves. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Should have been an incredible day, this. And we're trying to make it as incredible as anything. 10 o'clock is on my clock. Let's refresh. Have we got anything yet? No, it's not there yet. We'll keep refreshing. York Knights, founded in 1868, been in obviously various guises of York Knights over the years, different names, etc., etc. They won the Yorkshire Cup in 1923, 1934, and 1937. Rebranded, of course, to the Knights in 2002. 1895 Cup winners this year. Championship League leaders this year. Runners-up. And of course, they have yet to play in Super League. So what an incredible celebration that's going to be for the York City Knights if they get into Super League this morning. They've never done it before. Just going to go onto the Super League website as well, because you'd expect that will upload at 10 o'clock with it being Super League. Wouldn't you? Let's just have a quick look. No. Unbelievable. So 10 o'clock, I've just said a minute ago, embargoes, get everything ready to go. Bang, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock's been and gone, folks. 10 o'clock has been and gone. Just saying, been and gone. But we'll keep it going. Anyway, speaking of York, whether they get in or whether they don't get in, this is a team that's building, no doubt about it. Haven't we seen you before, boys? Oh, yeah. Look at the talent that they're bringing onto the roster for 2026. Paul Vaughan, Josh Griffin, still got a lot about him. Of course, they've got Lip coming in from the NRL. Queensland couple will, halfback. Interesting to see how he goes. Sam Wood. Great pro from Castleford. Again, experience, Vaughan experience, Griffin experience in and around a championship. Let's be fair, a championship winning team. Yes, they didn't win the grand final, but they won the league. They were incredible this season, were the York City Knights. So what they're doing now is, and in the same way that Lee did, the same way that Wakey did, they're bringing in a bit of experience around some younger talent. Here we go. Game on. Let's have a little look. And that's what they're doing. Justin Sangari. Way, go on, Justin, lad. Outstanding. Great to see Justin Sangari getting a move up to York. And of course, looms large in my memory his performance against the Warrington Wolves at the HJ Stadium. Justin Sangari, well worth a pump for any team. And John Bennison from St. Helens as well. So, Steph, when you look at who they're bringing onto their roster for 2026, one, is that a clue? But secondly, whether they get in or whether they don't get in, these players will definitely make their mark at York and take them to a different level.
They've signed some really good players, and hopefully everyone just wants them to be competitive when teams come up, don't they? So this is a great starting point for York. We've got the announcement, Dave.
The announcement has just come in. Yes, you're right. Here we go. Right, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Who's it going to be? We already know who it is, but let's do it anyway. Toulouse Olympic and York Knights are to be in the Betfred Super League in 2026. Many congratulations. I will read the statement in full. Toulouse Olympic and York Knights have been selected for promotion to the Betfred Super League in 2026, allowing the immediate expansion to a 14-team comp. Oh, the violins are coming out for those who don't want progressing Super League now. That's where the attention's going to go. It's never going to work. It's never going to work. It is going to work. Look at that incredible signings there on the screen that York have made. Come on, York City Knights. Oh, yes. Everybody's now booking their hotels when the fixture list comes out for York. What a wonderful part of the world that is, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. The two clubs were chosen from 9 applicants by the 7-strong panel established in August following a decision from the existing Super League clubs to prioritise expansion. 3 of the other applicants, Bradford Bulls, Huddersfield Giants and Hull FC, have already secured their places in next season's Super League after finishing in the top 12 of the club gradings table published on Thursday. On Wednesday, part of Rugby League's long-term strategic partnership with IMG to measure and drive the development of the sport. Lord Caine, the Rugby Football League non-executive board member who chaired this panel, said, after a thorough and robust process, we were pleased to be able to decide that Toulouse Olympic and York Knights will be worthy and deserving additions, love that, deserving additions to the Betfred Super League next season. They were 13th and 14th in the club gradings. Again, a measure of how successful they have been. So again, no real arguments there. With a significant lead on any of the other applicants from the Betfred Championship, as was set out on August 19. It was always the panel's intention to use those gradings as one of the criteria in our deliberations, along with enhanced financial scrutiny and an assessment of competitiveness. I go back to York signings. The panel's deliberations were conducted on the basis of fairness, impartiality, independence, and confidentiality. Up to a couple of hours before it was announced. Absolutely. The panel was unanimous in its final decision to choose Toulouse Olympic and the York Knights. We thank and congratulate all the clubs who engaged in the process for the quality of their applications, and we look forward to seeing elite rugby league played in the historic cities of Toulouse and York in 2026. We have a French derby, folks. Toulouse Olympic were founded, of course. Well, we've already done this. They're just telling us what we already know. We've done that. We've done all that. The panel's decision, is that it? Yeah. The panel's decision follows confirmation on Thursday of the club grading scores. We've already said that. We know that. Yeah, and then it goes on to say the directors were. So there you go. There's the official announcement. Welcome to Super League for the first time. Mark Applegarth. Let's hope Mark gets a shot at this. Absolutely deserving. I'll be on the blower to Mark as soon as we finish this show. Maybe we'll get Mark on Super League Raw Weekly this coming Tuesday. That would be outstanding to get his emotion and to celebrate with him, with Mark. That'd be absolutely marvellous. But congratulations to Mark Applegarth. Congratulations to Mr. Greenshields. Congratulations to everybody there at York, Steph, because what they have done is incredible. I want to give them massive raps because we've seen off-field York, lovely stadium, lovely little stadium, perfect for where they currently are at, with the opportunity of expanding that further, should they need to, going down the line. They've done wonderful things for the women's game. Wonderful things for the women's game. If anything, that's been at the forefront as opposed to the men's game. And let's hope that doesn't dilute now, because, we want those two to, we want York Valkyrie to continue to be at the top table in the women's game, because they're a disappointing season for them. But off-field, absolutely superb. On field, incredible season 2025. They've absolutely been building for this moment. It's come good at the right time. Again, when you look at their history, the recent history, 80-95 Cup winners this year, they went on an incredible run in the championship prior to losing that final to Toulouse Olympic. I'm delighted. It brings a bit of flavour. It's a bit different. It's a lovely part of the world. And all those people who have made this happen at York, for me, more so perhaps than Toulouse because they've already had a crack at it, this day belongs to everybody associated with York Knights. Massive congratulations. I, for one, looking forward to their company and their fans' company. Come and watch Super League Raw, become a part of our community. Love it to embrace them in the family that is Super League.
Absolutely. I'm over the moon for York. It's for the fans, just to have that first ever experience of Super League. I know exactly how that feels as a League fan. So yeah, and like I said earlier, to the people who've worked tirelessly to get that club where it is, and I think it's very important, like you said, to mention the women's game. They've been trailblazers in that respect as a championship club to produce one of the best sides in Women's Super League is a testament to them. Everything from a tick box exercise, everything is pointing in the right direction for York, isn't it? They've like you said, the stadium. They've got the catchment area. Hopefully, they can be getting 6,000-7,000 on in that stadium, and it'll look fantastic on TV. There'll be a lot of away fans coming to that ground who've never been there before, and it adds that bit of excitement for the other Super League sides because it is someone who's never been there before. Yeah, we may have played him in the Challenge Cup or whatever, but what a great weekend away. Like we celebrate going away to France, York is a fantastic tourist destination, and it's somewhere you can take the kids and the missus and make a weekend of it. So I think it's going to be a real success. And what I do hope, though, is that they aren't judged performance-wise on the first season. These teams have got to be allowed now to build. It's not gonna happen year one for them. One of them may have a really good thing like Wakefield and Lee have done previously. I don't think all of them will, and I fully expect one of the teams to be at the bottom of Super League. Yeah. But we can't judge them on that. They've got to be able to go through a full season, get used to it, and then the opportunity to sign players in May for the next year. That's going to be the true test of these clubs. But the real good thing for everybody is that with this IMG process, financially they are stable. They've got backers. All these teams are financially sound, so that should increase the standards of the competition, and also hopefully give some more players that are fringe players at Super League sides currently or up and coming reserves academy players the opportunity to play in Super League, whereas at the host clubs they probably wouldn't get that opportunity. So it's good all round, and the expansion to 14 teams is a real good thing, I think.
Absolutely. 10-09, no official announcement yet on the official Super League website. Anyway, I've got to start being a bit more dour. Rugby league's not a game to get excited about. Let's not have any razzmatazz. No passion in my voice. No nothing really. Steph, for the rest of this podcast, I'm going to be downbeat. I'm going to say we're a little game in the M62 corridor. No wonder Sky don't want to cover it today. What a shocking, you know what I mean? Shocking, What do you think, Steph? Should I be a bit more like this? Is this what you want from me, Steph? Do you want me to just be, well, whatever?
I'm not that interested, to be honest.
You're not that interested. I'm not that interested either. Mm-hmm. Apologies clearly of the viewers today. This is far too passionate. It's far too, proud of our great sport. Believe that it should be trumpeted from the rafters. Do you honestly believe that I'm not going to get excited over this? You're having a giggle, my friend. The reason I talk with so much passion and gusto, my next door neighbour's a football fan. He doesn't even know about rugby league. Come on. Jog on, mate. Unbelievable. What a day. This is how it should have been. Should have been an exciting York are in Super League. Go on, York. Oh, yes. Wonderful stuff. And Toulouse. Let's talk Toulouse. Look, like London last year, I felt Toulouse, had they have had a second season, would have built. I think London, had they have not had the been shackled by knowing they were going down. They were competitive. Let's not, look, considering that London brought very few players, they used pretty predominantly the championship winning team. They brought a couple in here and there. The likes of Josh Rourke, of course, was brought in from Batley, wasn't he? So there was a couple of players that were brought in to, but again, championship players, not players that were going to be on Super League wages. So in terms of salary cap, in terms of expenditure, exposure, and all the rest of it, they did the right thing for London. They didn't overdo it. What's the point in investing mega bucks when you know you're going down? But if that wasn't there, like York, I mean, look, we can say it now. It's out there. I mean, York have brought in some serious talent, and I'd expect more talent is on the way. So there's no doubt that York felt that they had a really good shout for me based on their activity. And I think the fact that London have not announced anybody, again, probably suggested that York were favourite going into to this one for me. But like I say, where Toulouse and where London were concerned, had they been given the same maybe assurances or the same feeling that York have had, they might have invested money. They might have gone out there and bought some marquee players. They might have gone out, which would have made them even more competitive in 24 and 25, 23, 25. Was it 23, 25, 24, 25, 24, 25? And they would have probably built again. And those as clubs would probably be in a better position for 2026 than they will be now. I mean, one of the good things about Toulouse, as you always say, is massive opportunity in terms of where it's situated in France. Obviously, there's the rivalry now that can go again with Catalan. As Steve McNamara said on our show, Catalan cannot be the only club in France that have to produce French players. They need more, and Toulouse will give them that, an opportunity for French players to experience a higher calibre of rugby league and to get better as an international side. So there's loads of benefits around that. But like you say now, really what we want to see is these improving. And you say that you expect one of these to be bottom. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, I'm looking at, I'm probably looking at, well, one, if Huddersfield had another season of injuries, let's be fair, Huddersfield, let's be fair, Huddersfield Giants fans, the last few years you've had really a torrid run with injuries. You've had more than your fair share. And we've been saying on Weekly for I don't know how long, Steph, is it training? Is it? I believe they were training on hard weather pitches. They don't. What is it? Something just doesn't seem right. I mean, don't get me wrong. With Warrington's ACLs this year, they could be thrown into the same category. But Huddersfield have had this over a couple of seasons. If that was to bite them again, interesting times. Castleford have brought in players untested in Super League. Yeah. They are also allowing tried and tested players to leave their club. And at the moment, for me, the surgery on Castleford squad is still, have they moved forward? I don't know. We'll find out. It's not, they haven't brought people in at the moment where you're going, oh yeah, they're going to push on next season. I think they're still quite loose in a few areas, if I'm being perfectly honest. So I think now, and this is why we're carrying on weekly right the way through the winter here, we'll be continuing to do Super League Royal Weekly on a Tuesday at 8 p.m. It's going to be a fascinating journey through the winter months, Steph, because I think we're going to see a lot of activity, especially at the likes of now York, Bradford, Toulouse, and probably Castleford. It's going to be fascinating to see who they bring in to strengthen their rosters for next year, because these boys, I don't think, certainly will not want to come and make numbers up. They will, to quote you, each one of these clubs will be saying, we're not finishing bottom. That would be a phenomenal season for all three. If all three of these clubs did not finish bottom of Super League, not everybody can be Wakefield and Lee. That's a big tick in the right direction, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And, we've got to be realistic. And yes, these clubs are going to bring some names in. Absolutely. They're going to bring some quality players in. Will it be enough to compete with the bottom of Super League? Yes, I get your point on that, but it's very difficult to find out in October you're going into Super League and build a team that's capable of competing in Super League. That's why I was saying earlier, we've got to give these teams a chance now to establish themselves. The hardest thing, and I keep referencing my team, Lee, because nobody knows more about promotion and relegation. Doing one season in Super League and getting relegated the season after than Lee. They're the biggest yo-yo team rugby league's ever seen in that respect. But it was always about with Lee getting over that first season, and I was confident if we could do one season and survive in Super League, it allows you then to get your recruitment right for the season afterwards. And I think I don't think it's been announced yet, but I'm pretty sure we're still going to be using IMG next season in terms of the grading. So the good thing with all these teams, and the good thing with them all being at the top of the IMG, as in the best 14 sides, I can't see those other clubs below them making up enough points to be able to replace them on the IMG system. Because, of course, it's not on promotion and relegation to be confirmed. It's on the IMG. So what it should allow this, because it's been those top 14 sides, regardless if they do finish bottom, it's unlikely there's going to be a team from the Championship to replace them, unless that is London. Now, what I can see happening with London is with Lockyer's investment, with Dimitri as coach and bringing in the talent. I think they're going to do now what Lee and Wakefield have done and build a Super League side in the Championship, completely dominate it. And hopefully they've been given assurances if they do that, we'll expand to 15 teams next season and then even 16 teams maybe the season afterwards. And I think that's the correct way to do it now.
Yeah, and again, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. As you say, I think London will certainly be in the mix for next season. And then, of course, there's the interest of the likes of Oldham. I mean, again, people might say Oldham. I mean, Oldham this year might get a bit of a bath in terms of. Not the hardcore. I think I know Matt Timms is hardcore, but he loves his rugby league, Matt. So Matt is a rugby league fan as well as a Salford Red Devils fan. Do I see Matt Timms going down to Oldham to watch Super League rugby? So would I see him going down to Oldham to watch some Championship rugby next year? Possibly. It's on his doorstep. He might go and do that. And I think maybe a couple of Salford Red Devil fans will do that. I mean, there's a lot of. It's going to be interesting to see what Salford's on the field next year. If we have a Salford on the field next year, it's going to be very interesting to see that. But they might get a little bit. They might get a little bit because they're playing Super. Well, they're not playing Super League, but they might get a little bit from that potentially. Maybe. Do you think they will?
I think the interesting point is with regards to Salford. I think it's the HMRC thing on the 26th next week, is it? So if they get wound up, which I think would be the best result for them, that allows a new investor to come in and take over with zero debt. All I'd say with that is watch out Salford, and the rest of Rugby League, because that makes them highly investable. They can rebuild in the Championship like Wakefield did. And then, who's to say in 2027 they're not ready to come back in with new investment? And we know that they've got the stadium, we know they've got the fan base. It's just with Salford is the finances. So if they can sort that out and put a decent side together in Championship, then they can't be ruled out for promotion in a couple of years' time.
No, it's going to be that is going to be fascinating. It has to be said. I think I'll be very interested to see. So, I mean, look, we decided to do this. I'm trying my best to look and to get the York announcement on, which I've actually had a quick look at, and actually it is very, very good the way in which they've done that today on their social medias to announce their arrival in Super League for next season. We go back, and I just go back to what a missed opportunity. I mean, and again, you get the hecklers that we've had today. I mean, why shouldn't there be more passion and pride in our game? Why shouldn't it be done properly? This is, like I say, 10 o'clock. It was a bit delayed. It didn't go live at 10 o'clock on the websites. Then you've got, Sky Sports News not even covering it. They'll probably cover it at 12, like they did yesterday for the first announcement. We deserve better. The game deserves better. The players absolutely deserve better. The whole thing needs to be looked at, because again, the whole point of IMG was to give us a bigger media presence. And it's fair to say that today has been another example on how not to do it.
Absolutely. But I think I'd rather talk the positives. I'm made up for York. I'm made up for their fans and that club, and I'm made up for Toulouse as well. They receive a massive amount of hate just because of where they are in France.
Yeah.
But what it does do is bring that rivalry between them and Catalan. That derby is going to be fantastic next year. I'm tempted to go over and watch it myself just for the atmosphere, especially at Toulouse's ground. And for people who haven't been to Toulouse, it's a fantastic city. I know people have been to Catalan, but Toulouse is massive. It's I think it's the fourth biggest city in France. The Stade Ernest Wallen's a great stadium as well. Toulouse Rugby Union play there. It's their stadium, 20,000 capacity. really nice modern facility. But what I'm hoping is that we get some back-to-back games for us travelling fans. If we can get, you could play Catalan on the Saturday and then Toulouse on the following Friday and make a week trip out of it. That would be fantastic. But obviously that's down to the fixture gods if you can do that. But yeah, lovely part of the world. But also it strengthens French rugby league. We've seen players like Artemore come through. To name one, what a fantastic talent he is. Bousquet, Ben Garcia, all these types of players in the south of France. It's a great catchment area. And I know people complain about the away fans. Well, so I think some teams need to look at their own team when it comes to taking travelling away fans in that respect. But also, clubs shouldn't be reliant on away teams coming to it. And I know it creates a better atmosphere, but if you as a club are reliant on away fans and directors of clubs are reliant on away fans, you shouldn't be in Super League. It's as simple as that. If you're using that as an excuse, then you shouldn't be there. So I think Toulouse are going to add to it. They'll bring some razzmatazz and French flair, and York. What a great experience that's going to be for everybody who's never been to there. It's a fantastic stadium, fantastic city. I think it's all positive for me, Dave. And I think they've got one thing I will say with the RFL and the IMG process. It's been spot on. It's the correct teams. I feel for London, but I do feel it's a year early for them. And I think they'll build now in the Championship a really good team, and we'll see them in 2027.
Well, here it is. I managed to do it. 1 minute. I don't know why I can't see that. Well, here we go. Let's try and get this. Never work with technology, as they say. Here we go. Let's have a go. So that. Why is that not working? That's annoying. Tell you what we'll do. We'll move to this. Bring Stef back. Where's Stef gone? We're having a mare, folks. We're having a mare. Here we go. We'll do it this way. This should work. Here we go. When in doubt, get this out. Here we go. Marvellous. So that's actually been a scroll come out. Again, my apologies here now. From London. Basically, the CEO saying that we need a stronger London in the game. I'm just looking at the ticker tape here on Sky Sports News. But no announcement that Toulouse and York are in.
Where's that from?
That's Sky Sport News, the ticker tape we've got at the bottom. So there's not, I can't see, or didn't see then, forgive me if I'm wrong. I didn't see any ticker tape there at all from the announcement. What I've seen is mention from the London side, just basically saying, there you go. But anyway, 2026, here we go. Is this in? Oh, hang on. Is this just hit on the London side? Let's have a quick look at this. Why not? When did this come out? This came out today. Okay. So London Broncos commit to continued growth and future Super League ambitions. The London Broncos acknowledge the Rugby Football League's decision following its competition structure review process. The club will continue its journey in the Betfred Championship for 2026. Although the Broncos have not been selected for promotion to the Betfred Super League, the club remains confident in its vision and long-term ambitions, with the review process only strengthening our commitment to once more reaching the top level of the English game. Supported by new investment, a refreshed leadership group, and guidance from leading sports and rugby league consultants, the Broncos are delivering a clear plan for long-term success both on and off the field. Incoming club owner Grant, and this must be where Sky's got it from. Grant, is it Weechel, I think. I don't know. Apologies to Grant if I've said that wrong. He said, while we are naturally disappointed not to have been promoted and respect the process the Rugby Football League ran, our belief is in this project and our direction as a club will not waver. The game of rugby league needs a strong London team. So this is what Sky are reporting. So to my knowledge, they have not reported as yet on their ticker tape that Toulouse and York are in Super League, but they've quoted this. Again, it's mind-blowing. But there you go. The Game of Believe needs a strong London team, and we will not stop until we return our club to the top level of the game. Darren Lockyer and I are determined people. Happy days, and we're glad that you are. We want a strong London team, and today's decision will serve as strong motivation to drive our success in 2026 and prove people wrong. So they're a bit filthy, which again is good. I like that. Our goal is to win the championship, strengthen, and I think they'll probably be right up there next year. Our goal is to win the championship, strengthen every area of the organisation, increase our grading points across the board, and ensure that when we do reach Super League, we are ready to compete from day one. Beautiful. Loving that. The club's new ownership group features National Rugby League Hall of Famer Darren Lockyer. He's gone on record and said, this remains an exciting period for the club. The Broncos are building with purpose and clarity, and there is real belief in what we can achieve. Our coach and many of our significant player signings for 2026 were committed to this regardless of Super League's decision, and we will work hard together to achieve a new goal of winning the championship next year. Congratulations to the clubs promoted for 26, but London deserves a strong and competitive Super League presence, and we are committed to making that a reality. Brilliant. We believe in London as a city and as a key location for the game globally. We call upon all the fans in London, as well as new supporters and members, to join us on the ride back to Super League as soon as possible. As custodians of Rugby League in England South, the Broncos remain dedicated to expanding the game's reach, reputation, and pathways. Enhanced community programs, player development initiatives, and renewed focus on high performance under new coach Jason Demetriou will guide the next chapter. The future of London Broncos is bright, said club owner and co-chairman Mr. Gary Hetherington. We know where we're going, and we believe in the path we are on. London will be back at the top table in time. Good statements.
Very good. And I think this is exactly the right thing for London. I think they need to now go sign that Super League side in the Championship, dominate, get that feel good factor in London, get the excitement going. There's nothing more that brings fans in than a winning side and winning trophies. And it'd be great for London to do that. And it's coming in with momentum, isn't it, into Super League? And it sounds to me, I think that statement's really well written, by the way, by London. Congratulating the other teams, very sportsman like of them. And I hope they've been given assurances that the Super League will expand to 15 if they're ready to go in. But it just feels to me that this was the right three teams to go in now, and London will build now, because I think with London there's always that thing about them not doing well when they come up. There's that negativity around it a little bit with some fans. Whereas I think if they can come into Super League with a Super League team that's going to compete for top 8, that will quieten down some of that. And I think that's probably the better path to Super League for London to do it that way with a really competitive side.
Yeah, I agree. R. Kelly Gaming, that's an unfortunate name, isn't it? R. Kelly Gaming. Well, we're not going there, but hey, there must be a reason why. It's probably your name, but anyway, he said he's glad that London aren't in because they don't bring any away fans. Neither the Catalan, Toulouse probably won't. Castleford Tigers don't travel in numbers.
Huddersfield
don't travel in numbers. But what they did do is in 2024, I'm losing my years, 2024, is that they were getting home crowd circa 5,000, which is more than Salford, which is more than Huddersfield. So actually, there is an absolute, whether that momentum has now stopped, they've got to go again. But hopefully those people who enjoyed Rugby League in 23, they can keep them, bring them back for more. But there's no doubt about it. London did great work in 24. Great work. Unfortunately, it came to an end. So I think there's real progress. And I think with the right people, which they've clearly got, I think, you mentioned Mike Eccles. They've clearly got good structures above him now as well. Demetriou, I mean, what a plum signing that is as head coach. I mean, as we sit here now, surely, I mean, there'll be other teams that want to have a proper bash. Oldham have recruited well. We must say that. Oldham have got a good side. We've got to wait to see what happens with Salford. But would you have London at this moment in time as perhaps going into the 26th as favourites to win the championship next year?
I mean, it's a bit difficult because they've not announced a lot of signings, have they? Apart from the NRL guy and a few others. But you'd like with the statement they've just released, that sounds very motivated to do it, doesn't it? So, yeah, I do see them as pushing for that. I think Oldham have signed extremely well for next year, and don't forget clubs like your Halifaxes and Widnes. That those types of teams will be there or thereabouts as well. So it's going to be a fantastic championship season again next year, even though they've lost Toulouse and York now out of that competition. I think there'll be a few clubs happy about that in the championship. You know, it gives them a bit more opportunity. But yeah, it's going to be a really exciting in season, and I just hope we are building for 16 teams, like Matt Ellis alluded to in his interviews that he's done. That for me is the sweet spot with Super League. 14 is going to be great because we get rid of the loop fixtures. I think 16 teams is where we need to be at, and a lot of that as well will hinge on the TV deal, which is going to be negotiated because that expires at the end of 2026. So that's going to have to be done in the next few months to get that sorted. And Rugby League needs a record deal. And I think everything that they've alluded to at the moment, with the increasing crowds actually at the games, the increased viewing numbers, the increased social exposure, what Rugby League needs is a counter offer from a DAZN or an Amazon Prime or something like that to be able to negotiate with Sky. And if that does come to fruition, then I think we could get a record deal. But they need someone to compete against Sky to get that.
Yeah, it is on the ticker tape. Thanks for that. And yeah, you're right. I mean, these are the numbers. These are the numbers. I mean, every conceivable number this year. And again, you know, these people that have said, oh, you know, we shouldn't be going to 14 teams. But these are the same people who said that crowds would be down in 2025 because everything was being on the telly. I'm just putting that out there, folks. You know, it's never
the same ones. Yeah,
the crowds are up. You know, and you look at what the teams are doing. You know, in terms of on field, off field. You know, the razzmatazz around the sport. You know, Leah setting the standards there. KR. You know, in terms of, I mean, Leah obviously standalone in terms of pre-game entertainment, and we know that. But you know, we're moving in the right direction with all of these things. So, like I say, we've got great numbers here, great numbers. You know, it's moving forward all the time. Suddenly, we're getting things right. Let's celebrate that, and hopefully, this is a really good, strong arm moment for those negotiations. And you know, incredible stats. They're incredible stats. They're available, of course, across all of social media. But because Steph mentioned it, I thought it was well worth putting that on the screen. What I would say is this. I mean, look, there'll be a lot of talk that, I mean, you said a minute ago, I expect one of these teams perhaps will finish bottom. And again, I maintain my position in the fact that not necessarily. We'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of rugby league to be played yet. The loop fixtures are gone, which is a phenomenal benefit for every neutral fan. We're seeing a home and away for the first time in I don't know how long. So that's going to add a bit more spice, I think. And again, in terms of attendance figures, that'll probably increase because what we know, because it was proven that the loop fixtures do tend, unless they have a meaning at the end of the season, do tend to have a lesser crowd. Been there, done that. I've already seen us play whoever this year. That's gone now. So that hopefully will have another increase, another surge in attendance when these teams come to town. But I just want to pick finally up, because we'll wrap this up now. We've done an hour. Who else is doing this, folks? Who else is doing this, folks? But what I would say to you is this, Steph, right, is the fact that at the end of next season, what is vitally important is that, and I'm sure this will be the case, that before we change a team, we consider expanding to 15 teams.
Yes.
Like they do in the NRL.
Yes.
So, you know, if, you know, let's be honest, if this time next year, Toulouse, York and Bradford are all financially viable, regardless of where they finished in Super League, and are showing improvements both on and off the field, and then behind them is London, who can demonstrate that, again, with the infrastructure, with the backing, with the rest, they are also ready. Rather than us cut away to, stay at 14 teams, I think we need to look at 15 if it's feasible. And then what we do, like they do in the NRL, you get a bye round. So it's 28. You know, it'd be a 28 round season, would it? If they did that, I think it would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would be if there was a bye round. Wouldn't it? So it would actually be 28 rounds because, you know, there'd be a bye round, wouldn't there? Is that right? Yes. Yeah, it is right. Yeah. So, hopefully that's what they consider doing. And again, it will be another step in the right direction, wouldn't it, for the league? Wouldn't that be exciting that this project does work, that we do get an improved? Let's go out on a real glass half full moment. 2026 is as successful as 25 in terms of the tries, the excitement. Clubs continue to build both on and off field, the fan experience, all of that. That goes really well. That these three teams come up and they take some scalps and they are competitive. They'll certainly be competitive against each other and probably very competitive in the lower echelons of the Super League as it was in 2025, which will be a real cause for celebration. We get an improved TV deal. Let's hope we get that. And then from that, who knows? We could be sat here in a year's time going, we're going to 15 teams. Wouldn't that be a wonderful, wonderful 2026 campaign?
Absolutely, and a lot of that does hinge on the TV deal and being able to financially support 15 teams in terms of central funding, which I think will happen. For all the naysayers with Nigel Wood, one thing we do know is that he negotiated the highest ever Super League TV deal that rugby league's ever seen by double what we're getting now. I'm confident that that's something that he's going to deliver for the sport. I think that with the stuff we've just mentioned in terms of the stats from this year, back up an increased TV deal. We've got something to negotiate with Sky on, and I'm really looking forward to now. How good are York going to be in terms of the fan experience? You can see them doing, what Lee have done, what Wakefield have done. The model's there, isn't it, for them to attract big crowds, and we're going to get Bullmania back. How good's that going to be, regardless of what you think of the stadium? And that's the only real negative with Bradford that people could throw out. It's getting a bit boring now. I think people need to accept they play at Odsal and that's the ground. But they can do some improvements to that. And if they bring back Bullmania, that will be fantastic for everybody. If they're getting 20,000 on against Leeds for a derby, how good's that going to look on TV? It'll be fantastic. So I think we need to now embrace what it is. I think it's the correct call to give credit to the RFL. I think the right teams have been promoted, and it adds that extra element for us clubs that are in Super League already now, that we've got 3 new teams that we're going to be playing next season, which is fantastic and brings that excitement. You've got those trips to look forward to. So yeah, I'm really positive about it. I think everything's been great, but apart from the way they've announced it.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully we've give you a little bit of entertainment, whether that be with a great bit of passion or it doesn't really matter, does it? But anyway, there you go. Happy days. Look, Super League Raw, we will be back live Tuesday, 8 p.m. I'm sure the boys will want to talk about this and other things. We will get more into the ribs of the Ashes game, Australia against England. Of course, that is just now 1 week away. We will continue our look through Sean Wayne's squad and get a little bit more into that game and how we think the Ashes series is going to go. I think there's going to be loads of announcements as well over the course of the next few days in terms of signings, certainly at these clubs and more.
Bradford today.
Yeah,
there's a load from Bradford today, apparently.
Yeah, so you got Bradford, you'll have York, you'll have Toulouse maybe. Hey, Ollie Ashelbot. Hey, there's a name for you folks. Remember him? He's coming back to Super League. He's Ollie. That's a good little player, Ollie Ashelbot. I really like him. So happy days. Great to have him back. Look, guys, it's been an absolute privilege doing this for you. Like I say, this is how it should have been done. A little bit of razzmatazz, a little bit of excitement, a little bit of come on, let's get behind our great sport. These embargoes are not working. We've missed the trick again. Our biggest partner, Sky Sports, have put a ticker tape on. That's it at this moment in time. Big opportunity. If that was always the case, then there should be discussions. Announce it at 12. If they want to do a fan club, United Liverpool, these things are in the planning well in advance. Agree a time with Sky Sports. We want you in the room. We want you live. We want to do a press conference. We're going to have people there. We'll have, not social media posts of statements read out by those people live on Sky Sports. Bit of razzmatazz. And maybe, just maybe, those teams that get into Super League, a new signings unveiled as well as part of it. Wouldn't that be nice for those supporters? Not only to find out that they're in Super League, but also, and here comes a marquee signing for you as well. I mean, there's so much more that we should do. But unfortunately, we're not. We're a bit archaic in our behaving. We've got to hold each other to higher standards, and we've got to do a better job. That's what we're about here at Super League Raw. We hope you've enjoyed this morning with us. It's been an absolute pleasure giving you another special. We just keep giving them, you folks, don't we? Enjoy your weekend. Don't forget Origin at Boundary Park. If you want to go and watch some Rugby League live, Women's Origin is live 2 p.m. this coming Saturday at Boundary Park, Lancashire against Yorkshire. Some great talent on the field. Well worth doing it. And of course, let's not forget the Pacific Series is on Sky Sports this weekend. Some belting games there for both the women and the men, Saturday and Sunday morning. So rugby league isn't finished yet, folks. You've still got your diet of rugby league this weekend. Don't worry about that. We'll probably have a chat about that as well on weekly. Of course, the big one next week, it's Ashes Test #1. We look forward, of course, to that as well. Steph, as always, mate, thanks for your time this morning on everybody's behalf. And we will see you all live 8 p.m. Tuesday, Super League Raw Weekly. You just can't beat it, folks. Have a good day. Bye for now.